the next question we have on our list is,
Okay, the next one says malaria isn't fatal.
how fatal? No, the question should be how fatal is malaria, because we know that malaria is a very fatal. Though people think malaria is just a very simple infection, or just a very simple disease condition that they can easily swallow maybe few pills and then they get over it. People think like that, but from the intro, I I got to know that malaria, or anyway, I know before now that malaria has a lot of other, very serious threats to the human body.
Yeah.
The organs are at risk. The brain, cerebral malaria can even
The
occur.
kidneys can even shut down.
I have seen a child that has attained all the milestones. He was walking around, and when malaria struck, this young boy lost all the motor milestone. In fact, we have to, as physiotherapy, we have to start all over to train him on how to sit, on how to stand, on how to walk again.
Okay.
Do you get? So is that serious? So how fatal? I think the question is, how fatal is malaria?
Malaria as an infection on its own, when you look at it neutrally, it's actually a very fatal infection. You only need to make recourse to history. Even as far back as ancient Rome, they had a lot of mosquitoes, okay, because they had near their river what they call the Tiber River.
Yeah.
So they had large swamps that served as breeding sites for the mosquitoes, and a lot of them were coming down with this malaria infection, and it was killing. It had its pros and cons though. Sometimes when the barbarians wanted to invade Rome, their invasion was also frustrated and slowed down because of the mosquitoes. A lot of them were falling ill. So it has always been fatal, but with the discovery of the wonderful medications that are being used to treat malaria now, in fact, the current ones, which we call the artemisinin, the combination therapy, okay, that is derived from a native herb called sweet wormwood, okay, or some people call it artemisinin annua, I think. So the artemiswa, yes, annua. So these drugs have been wonderful. Okay. These our drugs, the ones that people know, they call Amatem, Coartem, Lonat, all that. So with these things, I would say with the factor that there has been some natural immunity acquired over time within this environment where there is a high stable transmission. Okay, so that has reduced the severity of malaria. Okay, and also the fact that even the malaria drugs have been made over-the-counter medications.
Okay.
So what that means is that for most of them, you do not need a written prescription from a doctor to assess it. You may need guidance on how to use it, but you do not require a written prescription. You can actually go to the pharmacy and make a request and get them. So these things have contributed greatly in reducing the fatality of malaria. So that's why we may take it for granted. Okay. Even in pregnancy, there are measures, and giving out to pregnant women to ensure that they don't come down with the infection. So when you look at it from that angle, yes, on its own, it is fatal if it is not treated, if it's not given any attention. But then when you consider all these other factors, we may say that its fatality rate is now a bit dampened.
Here in Africa.
Yes, here.
But not in other
because if
regions,
you take into consideration what I said earlier, in areas where it is not endemic, and where people have low immunity, travelers can go there and carry with them some strains of the malaria parasite. And once the vector is also there, the mosquito, people can get infected and come down with very serious forms.
Yeah, that's right. But that does not mean that malaria is still not killing.
Of course,
malaria from research.
It is, and that's why there's so much global support given to malaria.
Yeah, it still kills a lot, even till today. So please, let's try to take care of ourselves and then observe all the measures we just listed. Thank you, doctor, for that.